let's have a really good shuffle, because this has been a lot. It's been a lot. One thing tarot really helped me to do was see that not everything's malicious or premeditated. We're only doing what we think is best at the time with the information we have, or the life experience that we have at the time, or whatever trauma we've had as a child. Like, some people don't even know why they do the things that they do, and they can't stop, or they know they're doing it and they know why they're doing it and they still can't stop. Like, it doesn't make it okay, because the collateral damage is still there, but you can't always fix people, and you never should try to. That it's their job to do that. That's their evolution, and you can't rush anyone's healing. That's not fair. That's not fair to rush them, because it can involve them accessing trauma, that re-traumatizes them. And you only have one life, so you can't spend it trying to heal someone where you're not qualified to do that, and they may choose never to heal. You deserve to be in a healthy, loving connection. It doesn't mean that you never were supposed to meet them, or that you haven't triggered healing in them. In fact, if you find that you keep meeting people who are broken, you could be a light worker, and it means that you have such an important purpose on this planet that you are supposed to meet people and trigger healing in them where they weren't evolving. And you don't get to keep them, unfortunately. You don't get to have a relationship with them that's healthy, but it wasn't for nothing. If you think that person, you've knocked them into a course of orbit that's different to what they were on, how like pivotal has that been? Like, you've been more important than anyone they're gonna have a relationship with. It's so much more profound than a 3D reality. It's higher than that. It's so much higher than that. And they might realise that one day, but even if they don't, you do. Spirit guides, universe, and angels, please stand beside me and guide me for Pisces' highest good. How is Pisces feeling in these final days of April and beginning days of May 2025? With regards to the one they're thinking about, dealing with, or manifesting in. 3 cards for Pisces. How is Pisces feeling, first of all? Rocky Kanaka is someone that does sitting with dogs. He's like a huge fanatic of dogs. He loves to help dogs. He's an empath. He speaks about, people in his family having addiction and not being able to fix them, and how much difficult he finds that. And with dogs, it's the same. Like, he can't make sure that dog's happy for the rest of their life, but when they're put in a shelter and they may have experienced trauma, he can try to just have these moments with it and bring them out of their shell, so that they have a better opportunity of getting rehomed in the future. And if you think about how much of a parallel that is to people, you're coming into someone's life, even if it's momentary, even if it's for a few weeks or a few months, you may have given them a better chance because you've triggered some sort of healing in them, or woken them up to something, or helped them to ascend just a little bit, that gives them a better chance of having a healthy connection in the future. You don't get to keep them, you don't get to have them, but that's what unconditional love is. And you might really be envious of the next person that seems to be having a normal relationship with them, but maybe you're a light worker, and that's not something where you benefit. It's where they benefit, and you are choosing to be around them because you are an entity that is not nasty, that's not going to hurt them or manipulate them or take advantage of them, and that's not going to hold it against them for a really long time if you don't get to keep them. They're safe in your presence. Okay, so Pisces, you've got the Six of Pentacles. You're looking for reciprocity, fairness. 6 is an even number. It's a number of balance. Fairness, 3 pentacles from you, 3 pentacles from another. That would be really nice, wouldn't it? Time, money and energy is what pentacles is. So that's what we're looking for at the moment. You may have air in your chart. I know you're a water sign, but you may have air if you're looking for equality, fairness, reciprocity. But that's just healthy, to be honest, isn't it? It may be a focus because you haven't had that previously. Now we've got the Star and the Ten of Wands. So I feel like you've been striving towards some sort of goal or wish fulfillment. And it's taken a really, really long time because the Ten of Wands is being strong for so long that you don't know any other way to be. You know, you've been carrying that weight, carrying that burden for so long that you're stronger, you're more determined, you're used to the challenge, you're used to this and that, but it's just been such a long journey, and you're wondering when it's going to end. I think so. You know, you're fortified, you are a true warrior with many stories, but we haven't got our wish fulfillment yet. It's the Star is also the major for Aquarius. You could have that in your chart, but it's a card of healing and a card of wish fulfillment. I would say wish fulfillment in this case because, I mean, you see the stars are ambition, but following the Six of Pentacles, I think you just want fairness going forwards. Like, you would like something, and this is a love reading, so I think you would like a fair connection. Next. You may have other goals and ambitions that you're working towards. Oh my goodness. It's the Knight of Wands, guys. You must know wands by now are phallic. So it's being sexual, being excited, being adventurous, being really energized, enthusiastic, motivated, adventurous, you know, just all the good things, but mostly sexual. You've got your mojo back. Let's see about the one you're thinking about dealing with or manifesting in the future. They've got the Sun card reversed. Now that's being a bit burdened. The Sun card upright in the traditional Rider-Waite tarot deck, it's Leo energy, and it's like, I am happy, I am carefree, I am a naked baby riding a horse bareback with the sun behind me. Like, you know, you're just wild abandoned, not a care in the world. This person is not with wild abandon. They do have things that are on their mind, and it's getting them a bit down. So let's see what that is and who this is. The Six of Swords. So they're currently unpacking some stuff and moving away from feelings of lingering feelings, you know, for what's gone down in the past. They're sort of moving on from that, which is good. That's healthy. 6 is a number of balance. It's an even number. And the person's in a boat, and they're moving away from whatever was getting them down. Okay, so that's good. They're healing. They're letting go of what's already occurred. We've got the King of Wands reversed. I think they might have lost their mojo. Okay, so they could be a fire sign because we've got the Sun card, although it could just be part of the narrative. We've got the King of Wands though, haven't we, which is someone who is Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, or embodying that energy of ambition, control, confidence. A king isn't rushing around on horseback. A king isn't trying not to be seen. A king sits confidently, assuredly, assertively, and they have a lot of ambition. They have a lot of things that they want, and they're prepared to, they like to do. Okay, they're a thinker, but they're mostly a doer. They want to take action. They're goal orientated, they're highly driven, motivated. They jump up in the morning with music on, like raring to go. I'm not like that. I need a slow wake up. But every like fire sign that I've known jumps up, puts their music on blast, and they're like upbeat from zero. And I'm like, what on earth is happening? I hate that. I hate it because it's just not me. I need to slowly and quietly wake up. I need peace. There's not a chance I'm putting loud music on. I like music on the way to work, but I've had a slow hour and a half waking up before that. I've had my shower, I've had my coffee. It's just a different vibe, isn't it? I'm an earth sign, I'm a Taurus, so I'm Taurus the bull, I need calm. I'm in my pasture. I love music, but it's on my terms. When I want it, when I'm in the mood for it. And the music I listen to is very upbeat. It's not melancholy at all. I hate sad songs, turn them off. But the fire signs I know are into a bit of every kind of music, and they love like even like raves and stuff. They're just like so up. They love it. They love to be more up than what they are starting from, you know. It's someone who's ambitious, driven, passionate. Was it reversed? I think it was reversed, because why was I talking about they've lost? Was it reversed? If it was reversed, they've lost the groove. Okay, they've got a lack of ambition, or they're overly domineering. When it's upright, they're fiery. There's things they want, but they're upbeat. They're just happy, and they get off on achieving their goals. So they've always got another one, always got another one, always got another one. I must say I'm Aries Taurus cusp, so I do like to have a new goal. I rarely let myself celebrate for long. Sometimes I need to remind myself like what I've achieved, because I'm straight away thinking, right, the next goal is whatever. So I've got a little bit of that in me. Let's get 3 for the outcome. I think this is someone you're manifesting, honestly. I didn't get like couples vibes, I didn't get romance, I didn't get dating, I didn't get, you know, breakups. I didn't get anything like established, or even at the beginning I'm getting like 2 separate entities. Ooh, right. So we've got the 9 of Wands upright, the 9 of Cups upright, the 8 of Wands reversed, the High Priestess reversed, the 4 of Cups reversed, the 2 of Pentacles upright, the King of Swords reversed, the Page of Swords reversed, and the 2 of Cups upright. What on earth? Like someone's giving me homework to do. That's so many cards. Like, oh. Right, let's just start discussing them from the back first. 9 of Wands is the wounded warrior. There's been a lot of challenge, but we're prepared to keep going. 9 of Cups, self-satisfied. It's a single energy, being single and happy, or contented, you know, but from a point of view where we are as an individual happy within ourselves. It's not about the happiness of the family or anything like that. It's like, I'm happy, I'm happy. 8 of Wands reversed is blocks, delays and challenges. The High Priestess reversed is struggling to see the divine plan, struggling to understand why these things are happening, losing faith a little bit. The Four of Cups reversed is becoming open to offers of emotion from others. Two of Pentacles is managing priorities, trying to juggle. It's like this endless, like, how do I get balance? How do I achieve balance? I've got work and children, or I've got love and work, or I've got, you know, health problems and a relationship. I don't know what it is, but it's struggling to find balance. It can be trying to make a choice, but sometimes it's just, you know, there's a need for balance. Trying to keep all the plates spinning at once. King of Swords reversed is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. Air energy, it's about truth, integrity, serving the community, information, intellect, wisdom, strategy, foresight, thinking carefully, planning. No one does anything on a whim when they're an air sign. It's been thought about for a long time, even if they don't let you know that. Information is power for this person. So when it's reversed, swords are communication as well as information. They're fantastic. They're good at thinking on their feet. They word things well. They write well. They speak well. When it's reversed, they could be speaking out of order. They could be manipulative. You know, there's being a good planner and a strategist, and then there's being full-on manipulative, making things work for them and not for others. Or they could be communicating in a way that's really offensive, or they could be blocking communication. So it's more of a negative aspect of those qualities in that person. It's being used in a way that's like hurtful or passive aggressive, deceitful. Then we've got the Page of Swords reverse, so I'm getting more of a blocking vibe, because this is like refusing to look, refusing to learn, you know, looking away, if anything. And it's with regards to a Two of Cups, which is a new love. Each person feels the same about the other because it's upright. So there could be some strategy involved, or manipulation or tactics involved with regards to new love. Struggling to, you know, cope with blocks and delays, feeling like there's been too many challenges and not knowing why, what the plan is. Something's been a battle, but we're prepared to keep going with it. There's been obstacles to a new love interest, and we're prepared to overcome that, and that's coming out as the outcome. So this is about to happen next week or thereabouts. Now, because you're Knight of Wands, you might have started dating someone or sleeping with someone or getting a crush. You know, it's crush vibes when you're like, oh my God, I'm having like a physical reaction to this person when I'm around them. Sometimes that happens in the build-up to sleeping with someone, or it happens because you're sleeping with someone. I'm saying sleeping with because if it was Knight of Pentacles, you'd be dating them with a view to having a relationship. I'm saying sleeping with because if it was Knight of Cups, it'd be like romance, like I could fall for this person. Knight of Wands is like sex vibes. Like when the chemistry is insane and you can't keep your hands off each other, you can't get your clothes off quickly enough, you sizzle when you're around each other. It's like insane vibes, guys. So I want to be clear that you've got the hots for someone, whether you're already like sleeping with them. Maybe you are, because you've got the Two of Cups coming up in the outcome. So it's very much mutual and could develop into love, because cups are emotions. Now we've got the Five of Cups, the Justice reversed, and the Six of Wands reversed. It could be that you're lusting after someone who's married because they're showing up as a king and you're showing up as a knight. We've got the justice reversed, so there's a lack of fairness or a breaking of the law. And a marriage is a contract, okay, technically. And socially, morally, it's a contract. They're not supposed to be sleeping with anyone else. And we've got the Six of Wands, and the Six of Wands is reversed, and it's about recognition, being celebrated, being noticed. When it's reversed, we're not being celebrated, we're not being noticed, we're not gaining the attention of someone. With the justice reversed, it's like something's unlawful, unjust. There could be a breaking of a marriage vow, and there's a lot of sadness, grief, loss and regret over that. I'm not saying they regret sleeping with you, but they might carry a lot of guilt. If you realise you've done something immoral, or that other people will view as immoral, it can carry a lot of guilt. Or once you've got involved with someone who's married, there are periods where, by default you feel ignored, you feel let down, you worry that you're being used, that you're stupid. There's a lot of sadness can come with that, a lot of guilt as well, in case people should find out. Let's get one more for the outcome. Infidelity isn't something you run around being like proud of, is it? It's like a secret for a reason. It's too big for a reason. But souls find each other for a reason as well. The love is reversed in the outcome. So this is a divine couple. They've had a soul contract, and when it's upright, they're still a couple, and both people have the same feelings for one another. They're both in love, they're both devoted. When it's reversed, one person is no longer devoted, or they were never in love, or a contract, is over. Because there's unequal feelings there now. It's the major arcana for Gemini. She could be dealing with a Gemini, a Libra, but they could just be part of the narrative, those cards, because of what they mean. It doesn't have to indicate who it is. They could be fire sign, or they're fiery because they've regained their fire. They could be Leo because you've got the sun reversed for them. But again, it could just be part of the narrative. They've got the High Priestess, which is like Pisces vibes. It's all cups and wands, and so much emotion, so much passion, but a lot of sadness and heaviness as well. This is like the fourth reading that I've done now, in a row, where it's like divorce, cheating, third party endings. So you are not alone. You could also be a cusper. You could be Aquarius, Pisces, cusper, because you've got the star for Aquarius. In the outcome, although there'll be regret and I think the ending of a marriage, I think you're both like equally excited for, potentially developing feelings if you are sleeping together. Because Two of Cups is in the outcome. Even though there's obstacles, blocks, delays, I mean, that makes sense, doesn't it? If someone's married, they can't just be getting into a serious commitment with you, or being a Knight of Pentacles and saying, hey, I want this to turn into a long-term investment. They can't do that. They're not in a position to do that, let's be real. There would have to be a large amount of time, patience, understanding, secrets kept, until things can be worked out, and due respect is given to the person and other people who are involved. If there's children, if there's parents, if there's, pets, the person who's being cheated on, obviously, like, they need to be spoken to in a way with sensitivity, giving respect, to what maybe they've been incredibly loyal and providing, and there's a lot of memories there. There's finances involved. We've got to be realistic that you can't just expect things to change just like that. It could take years, and it often does, because people can't just sever stuff like that. It's very different to when you're boyfriend and girlfriend and your feelings change. That's still equally sad, and it still equals and deserves respect. But with marriage and assets and children and elderly parents, it just gets so, like, the stakes are so raised that it's just, add zeros on to the amount of time that it's going to take to sort this out. But it doesn't mean it's beyond that. They have got emotion there for you. It's equal. They share the same feelings. That's what's in the outcome. And the love is reversed, this marriage being over, and still a sense of grief and remorse is there, and guilt, but they're satisfied, with what's happening. They're glowing off what's happening in a way, but they can't move at the pace that you would like, okay, or that maybe you're hoping for. So that would explain why it's been a long battle, a long wait. And you want reciprocity, you want fairness, and you're incredibly passionate about this person. So let's see what's going on with them on their side. We'll get some shadow cards. If this is resonating, please give me a like. Please share the channel. If you know someone going through this, it might help them. Ending. You're pretending that it's not ending, but it's time to let go and make a fresh start. So this person is 100% leaving their person. They could have dragged their feet with it for quite a while, could be months, could be years, and that's why you're showing up as a knight and not a king or a queen. It doesn't mean that this hasn't been going on for a long time, but it could be early days as well. It's just that it's enough to show them that they're done where they are at present. This contract has expired, and it's just, sometimes it's like shocks the person. They weren't looking for it. They weren't looking for this, and so they're just not ready for the mayhem that's about to ensue. Love blocks. Dismantle hidden barriers to real intimacy and trust. They've enjoyed having intimacy again. Pace of pleasure. Resist the rush. Adopt a slower stride and savour each moment's essence. Imagine not having been someone who's free to... We've all done it. We've all been in a relationship or a marriage where you're lying in bed and you just know your person isn't going to instigate anything romantic or intimate. They're not going to do it tomorrow. They're not going to do it the next day. It's really hard. It's really not a nice feeling. And it makes you feel shit about yourself. It makes you wonder whether they love you anymore, whether you are attractive anymore, whether you've done anything to put them off. You question whether they're seeing someone else. Sometimes you get to a point where you think, but everything about them is so good. Even if we're never sexual again, maybe I can just stay in this because, maybe it's shallow to want, or maybe this is normal, and you can put up with that for years or decades. And then can you imagine someone that you just think is stunning, just finding you stunning and making you feel like a teenager again, and making you feel important, making you feel masculine or feminine, making you feel irresistible, you can't resist them. I would be drunk off that. I would be addicted to that. And I think this person's just trying to enjoy what they found. I don't think they went looking for it. I think they just can't I don't think they know what's happening to them, but they know that their marriage is done. And I think that this means a lot to them. I think this experience, every moment with you, means a lot to them. Clouded vision, recognise and discuss red flags or areas of concern. They could be really afraid that you are just in it for a good time, not a long time. They don't know your feelings unless you share them. They don't know your desires unless you speak about them. They're not a mind reader. They're not judging you for the kind of person that they are because they likely don't know you that well yet, but they feel this. They feel that it's different. They feel that it's how it's supposed to be. They feel that it makes them feel good. They don't want to stop feeling this way about themselves, about you. But it creates a big mess to sort out, doesn't it? And it's not to feel guilty, because actually if someone has put everything on the line, they were at the point for a while where something was missing, something important, and it wasn't making them feel good about themselves. So you can't just blame outside people. Marriages where someone's prepared to put everything on the line and thought about it for a long time, held back for a long time, and then done it, it's because they're not happy, you know. And no one should be living out a sentence, not saying they're miserable with every other aspect of that dynamic. They probably love the children, they love what they've worked hard for in terms of assets. They know that their person's loyal to them. But it doesn't mean that they want granny kisses and handshakes. It means that they need to feel close to the person, they need to feel self-esteem and dignity and, good about themselves. Everyone deserves that. No one deserves to feel like they're just wallpaper, or they've put on weight, or they've lost muscle mass, or they've lost hair, or like, can you imagine how quickly your self-esteem goes down because someone's just never gonna. I've done that, and I've waited, and I thought, well, we're going on holiday and it'll be different, and it just wasn't. And I've never felt so deflated, and it really that helped. That was the deciding factor, because I just thought, if you're not even doing it when we're on holiday and you're not stressed with work, we're not going to do it ever again, are we? Like, it was just like, what? Like, really in like early 30s, and he was wanting to get a house together and wanting to commit, and like, I was just like, no, because that's not me. And emotionally, I need more than that. Like, I'm just going to end up finishing it. I wouldn't have ended up cheating, I'd have ended up finishing it, but we didn't have kids, we weren't married, so I can just finish it. Do you know what I mean? It's different. I don't judge people now, because I think, well, no, they're not just going to run away from their kids or break their kids' hearts, or like, do you know what I mean? Like, people stay in it and you understand why, but it doesn't mean that they're happy or they're fulfilled. They're trying to think of everyone else's happiness. They're running away because they stay for other people, not because they're fulfilled. This is what I was saying. I'm sure I invoke these cards to come out. Or I'm just good at tarot, I don't know. I do wonder sometimes if I'm thinking about the cards and I'm pulling it out, but that's magical in of itself, isn't it? Do you think? Let's get a confession from them. I see you in my dreams. They think about you all the time. They might not be with you barely ever, but you're their thing that makes them feel happy, that makes them feel safe, that makes them feel hopeful, that makes them feel calm. Abundance. Keep a positive mindset. Manifest exactly what you want. Gratitude, have gratitude, and be in your bliss. Okay, so they wish to feel abundant, and you make them feel abundant. You make them feel that. There's a lot of potential here, but it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to be like the long run, and that's okay, because you don't want. Imagine if someone was just prepared to just be an asshole, and just dash the feelings of everyone that's important to them. I don't think you'd want them then. It's not that people get off on the betrayal, but you observe someone who's clearly a loyal person, who's clearly putting everyone else's considerations before their own, and for a long time, for years. And you've got time for that, you've got respect for that. It doesn't undo that they've been loyal for decades. It doesn't undo them getting up, going to work, doing the kids' lunchboxes, doing this and that. They've done all that because it's a good person. They've stayed because they're a good person. And it doesn't undo all of that because they no longer feel fulfilled, like in every possible way. They're fulfilled in lots of ways, but not in the way that their self-esteem or self-value or image is being maintained. Let's get another clarification card, and then we'll get you advice. Mercury retrograde, electronic issues, communication issues, review, everything. We can make mistakes because our mind is foggy during a Mercury retrograde, and that's why, with anything you receive or send, you need to double check everything. But often you get communication from exes, people review their own behaviour. You might get random apologies or contact from people. Moving, change of residence, moving in with your partner. They might move out or get their own place. In response to all of this. Let's get messages from them. Yes, they know what they want and they know they're unhappy where they are. Okay, so they're going to seek professional advice about their options in terms of like what they can afford on their own, moving house. They need to be careful not to make any mistakes, because if they rush it or they don't check things, they could end up paying through the nose. Or okay, they're really like missing you. Eight of Swords is mental entrapment. You might have a lot to deal with and a lot of necessities to sort out, but they're thinking about you totally. Oh, You Matter came out with the Two of Cups and the Nine of Cups, which means they're just completely fulfilled by this, like inside and out. Your family won't like me. They're worried about judgment. Maybe you're younger or you're someone that hasn't been married before. They're worried about how they'll come across and what people will think of you dating a divorcee, okay? Or someone who's still married, that's going to divorce, separated. If you were worried about their spouse, that's done with. It's done with. Okay? They don't feel that the way that they used to for them anymore. Okay, let's get you some advice now. Spirit, what should Pisces do about this connection, although I think they already know? Turbulence. The mind is murky in rough waters, so don't say anything if your emotions are running high. Don't, if it goes a long period without hearing from this person, don't judge them by a regular person's standard, someone who's not dealing with all of this crap. Like, this is a lot. It's like the heaviest time that they'll ever have in their life. One of the heaviest times, the biggest messes to sort out. So try to manage your emotions and don't react without having a good think first, okay? Travel. Seeing the surface of the ocean is not the same as diving deep to see the coral. So make sure that you don't just take things off face value or make assumptions. Ask, wait, check. Consider, try to have empathy, put yourself in their shoes, do things add up. Yes, they probably do. If you were them, would you find it easy to make time for you? I don't think so. Would it mean that you don't care? I don't think so. So it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be smooth sailing, but it never was. And you're well capable of getting there. They want this as much as you do, okay? This is how you make them feel. This is how they felt before. This is how they felt before. Okay? But they've got these things to bear in mind and just work through. Okay. Let's get some more advice for you, because this is your reading, Pisces. Or you are magic. The good kind. You're a good person, you're not a bad person. This would have happened anyway. And look how happy you've made this person. They were really unhappy before. They were burdened. They were weighed down. Okay. And you're looking for fairness. You're not looking to use anyone. You're not the devil. You don't get off on hurting people. It's nothing to do with that. It's two souls that have found each other and make each other happy. I am light. I always have hope. No matter the ordeal, I have faith in a better future. I turn darkness into light. I open my heart to others and to God, and I'm spiritually strong. I draw light to me and shine with all my being. Being true. I am true to myself and others. I remove my mask and stop creating illusions. I have confidence in who I am, and I reveal the good in me. I do not need to hide or prove anything. I replace shame with the power of love and truth. I'm sorry, but that went biblical at the end. Like, that is beautiful. That's beautiful. It's everything I was talking about. And the sun shone extra. Do not be ashamed of loving someone the way that makes them feel good and makes them feel loved and magic and important, okay? Right, I hope this resonates for some people out there. If you know someone going through this situation at the moment, please share it with them. Please give me a like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, support the channel. Thank you to everyone who has recently subscribed and my loyal fans as well. Take care. I'll post these as individual readings across today. Enjoy your weekend and have a good one, guys.